Hi, dear friends. Hi, and I'm here today on my first ever Facebook Live. Yay, I've done that, and I'm here on the first ever Facebook Live that and I've done a lot of videos. If you have been watching my channel, if you have been following my channel, you might be noticing that I've been putting out regular content and videos on different topics related to stress management, anxiety management, on parenting, and on subconscious reprogramming. Um, but today I have decided to muster the courage to come here live to speak to you. And, uh, and the topic for today is also on courage, because I firmly believe that courage is not the absence of fear. It's not the absence of fear. I still feel fear right now, but it's not the absence of fear, but it is the ability to go through the fear. It is developing that ability to go through the fear. And in a few moments, I'm going to share a little bit more about my perspective on this topic of courage. But before that, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Lata Ramesh. I'm the founder of the Healing Gym. And as part of the Healing Gym, my mission and goal is to help and support all those who are struggling with anxiety, with stress, and teach them techniques, teach them tools, give them tools to cope with anxiety, cope with stress, and be able to come back into a state of equanimity. I'm also a parent coach, and I help people learn subconscious reprogramming techniques, and all of that. I integrate that in my sessions because I use an integrated approach in anxiety management, helping people cope up with anxiety by changing their lifestyle, changing their mindsets, their belief patterns, their emotionals, managing their emotions, controlling their emotions, and also primarily using their spirituality to connect with their own internal resources. Because I firmly believe that no matter how anxious you are, we all have that strength, that inner strength, to be able to cope out of it. So, this was just a brief about me, but coming back to the topic of today, which is on courage. And as you see, I have been, able to bring forward that courage today to speak to you. Earlier, I used to do pre-recorded videos and edit it and then, share it with all of you. But my desire, my passion to be able to, share resources with you is so strong that I decided that no, I need to show up more regularly and be here on live. So here I am today. And if you have been following my content and if you've liked what you saw earlier, please drop in a comment below. And that would be very encouraging for me. And I know that I can do more of that stuff. So, about courage, right? What is courage? Courage is not the absence of fear. Most people think that courage means that I don't have fear. That's not true. Courage is basically the ability to go through the fear. It's like going through a tunnel and coming on the other side. Is the tunnel dark? Yes, it is. But what are we doing when we are going through the tunnel? We are switching on our headlights. We are having lights so that we are aware what's there around. And secondly, we overcome our fears and develop a courage by going through it. And that's what courage is. That's what courage is. So, the ability to go through your fears. So, let me give you an example. Think of a time in your own life when you mustered courage to do something that you needed to do. Maybe it was having a difficult conversation with a parent. Maybe it was an act of courage by relocating to a different city or a different country. Or maybe it was an act of courage to start a new relationship or to end a relationship. Think of that act of courage. And maybe it was just a smaller act of courage to send your child to school on the first day. You're having so much of fears, but you decide, no, I have to send because my child needs to get this education. So there is so many things that each one of us do to muster up courage. And if we have done it once, we can do it twice, we can do it as many times that we need. But just knowing that we have done it before will give us the courage to be more courageous in the future. So courage is something that we all have access to, but we have to have a belief in our own internal resources for that we can do it. And the more and more you do it, you develop more and more courage. Like I know the more and more I'm going to show up in life with all of you, I will develop more and more courage to be able to do more lives. So this was just a shortened, version of what I wanted to speak about courage, and I invite you to practice it. I like to give practical exercises to all my students and my clients, and that's what I'm going to do for all of you who are watching this too. Is just take up one thing, just take up one thing that requires an act of courage, and don't choose a very huge thing. Okay, choose something small, something, and develop and see if you can develop a micro courage about it. And it could be something that you've been putting off doing. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and decide, take a decision that I am going to do it. And mentally, just imagine and visualize that you're taking out all the fears and just keeping it to the side. Just visualize that. Visualize you're putting it up locking it up in your cupboard, in your closet, and then telling yourself, I have the internal resources, I have the strength to do this thing, to have this conversation, or to achieve this goal, or to do this particular thing that I want to do. And then just jump into it. Just do it. So this was about courage. If you liked what you heard, please drop in a comment so that I feel more encouraged. And also, really request you to drop in a comment and let me know what else you want me to speak about. What are the topics you would like me to address? And it could be any topic on anxiety management, stress management. It could be topics about managing relationships and about achieving your goals. It could be a topic about parenting. It could be a topic about subconscious reprogramming and overcoming traumas. So any of these topics in any of these areas, please just post what are the topics that you would really like me to address, and I will come out with more videos, maybe do more lives about it. And if you have a question that you want me to address, right, you can have a question like, how do we overcome stress when we are in a relationship, or how do I have that first difficult conversation? How do I start with establishing boundaries? So it could be any question that you have in mind. Just post it on a comment, like this video, and feel free to share it, because more and more people can watch and benefit from this. But thank you so much. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for encouraging me, and it's been wonderful. I feel much more better, and I feel much more courageous to do more of these in the future. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. May you have a wonderful weekend. Bye.